Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the Ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. God gave his greatest gift to us on that first Christmas day, and may the wonder of it always guide and light your way. Merry, Merry Christmas. Here comes Kate Smith. And God bless America, followed by a patriot with our Pledge of Allegiance. Good morning, good morning. God bless America. Thank you so much. And, of course, I'm Zeb Bell, Zeb at the Ranch, with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and along with some of our great advertisers like Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. And right now, let's go to the phone lines, and Old Wheels probably has a Pledge of Allegiance person over there. Good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is your name, please?
Jolene Smith.
You did an outstanding job. Thank you very much, and Merry, Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right. Thank you very much. That was a nice lady. Oh, my goodness. Let's see what we got to get in here next. It's time for the weather, and we are really, really blessed with some really super nice people. Kyle and Whitney Cheney and all the folks over there, Sierra. I don't know all the folks, but I'll tell you what, they really do a great job with carpet and flooring, kitchen construction, home decor items, whatever you need to make your house really feel like a home. And don't forget, they've got new flooring, new carpet, they've got gift cards over there, all kinds of great Christmas gift-giving ideas at Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door. Here's Gina with the weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we are getting ready to head on into the weekend. We are expecting some afternoon snow showers today, so just be careful if you're out there driving. High of 32 tonight, low of 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 38 with an overnight low of 28. Maybe some afternoon rain showers on Saturday, high of 36 with an overnight low of 27. And partly to mostly cloudy skies for Sunday and Monday. Highs are going to be in the low 30s. Yesterday's high was 30 degrees, and the overnight low was 23. That's your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
I appreciate it, Gina. Great job. And, of course, brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design at 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door, and they wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Hey, Wheels, bring old Merv May in here, the auctioneer, would you please? Today's sale day at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. That is the chant of the world's best auctioneer. I could listen to him all day long. Merv May, along with Cade Rogge, Lance Udy, and the whole crew at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Sale time today at 10:30. Sale time today at 10:30 at the Burley Livestock Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. And here's part of the run. Rick Wrigley of Burley's bringing in 120 head of real good good calves. Tom Peck over to Cary, 75 head of calves. And Zach Darrington over to Rupert, trailer load of calves. Kincaid Ranch is out of Connor Creek, 75 head of calves. The Barrow Ranch over at Montella, Nevada. You better believe Cowboy Time, 76 head of calves. And TLK Dairy of Mountain Home bringing down some butcher cows and Holstein heifers. Now, remember, today's sale day at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard, starting at 10:30. There will not be a sale next week or the week after in honor of Christmas and New Year's. So get in there today at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. Sale time at 10:30 this morning. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, he gets the steer calves here to get $1.31, 1.5, 31, 1.5, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 135. 50, 135 and a half, selling $1.35. Zeb Bell gets bottom again.
I'll tell you what, I really enjoy listening to his chant. You can understand everything, and thank you very much, Merv. Merry Christmas. I had yesterday one of the most, I think Deanne would agree with me, we were just grateful. That's a good word to put it. We were totally grateful to all the wonderful people that turned out for the Denny's old-fashioned Christmas remote at Denny's at 611 Overland in Burley. There's so much I want to say. So many people I want to thank, and this morning in the first hour, I'm just saying thank you in general, and God bless all of you, and a Merry Christmas. But at 9:12 this morning, after the Chamber Report, I'm going to kind of break this down a little bit with all my thank yous for everybody. The hospitality of Denny's was fantastic. Thomas and Terry, the whole crew, they are wonderful, wonderful people over there at 611 Overland in Burley, and the food is tremendous. I had many people come over that were first-timers of going into Denny's, and they said, holy cow, it's everything and more that you said it was on the radio. Excellent food, nice folks, and I guarantee you're going to enjoy it. Denny's Restaurant, 611 Overland in Burley, they are also the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch. We're going to be giving a complete thank you about yesterday at about 9:12 this morning. I am so grateful. Thank you very much for your attendance. It was outstanding. Hey, by the way, Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 678-0459. They open the doors at 7:30 in the morning till 5 Monday through Friday. They've got all your heating and electrical needs and ready to serve you. Stop in and see them today or give them a call. They'll have your order waiting on the counter. Ramsey Heating and Electric, 678-0459. And they always provide warm winters and cool summers. We have got some very special people that I believe are celebrating their birthdays for this weekend, and I want to make sure I get them all in. Now, I understand that tomorrow, I'll start with the one that's today. I almost overlooked this one, and I apologize. The lovely lady, Bertha Wood, is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Bertha. God bless you and many more. Now, tomorrow, Adam Fowler. Boy, there's a young whippersnapper that's really growing up before our eyes. Tomorrow, Adam Fowler is going to celebrate his birthday. He'll be 12 years old tomorrow. And then a great big celebration for Joe and Ethel Taylor. My goodness, 90 years old birthdays. Oh, my. And I just saw Joe the other day. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, he came out and supported us at Denny's. And by the way, Joe and Ethel are going to have a very special birthday celebration. It's going to be at the Golden Heritage Senior Center, and that's going to be on Saturday, this Saturday from 2 to 4, and God bless them. These are really nice folks. All of those folks, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to all of you, happy birthday to you. There you go. And thank you very much for all your kind wishes yesterday. Wow, I'll get into that at 9:12 this morning. I am blessed with all these great folks that live here. Birthday, Christmas wishes coming in this morning from Pump Service. Oh, my goodness sakes, 103 West and 500 south of Burley. The Baker Boys, and they know all about water and how to get it here to there, everything, water softeners, Sandpoint systems, Pump Service, etc. Pump Service, Burley, 678-9042. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Hey, I'll tell you what, Pickett Equipment Company at 976 East Main in Burley, they started as a kind of a in-the-shop of the farm type business, maybe making about 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of equipment. Now they ship all over the world. Holy cow. Pickett Equipment Company, 976 East Main in Burley. They wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. There is still time to call Vicky's Country Gardens, and the number to call, 431-5667, and make an appointment to get out there and get gift certificates as stocking stuffers for Christmas for next year's spring and summer gardening. Oh, what a great idea. Vicky's Country Gardens, 185 South, 600 West of Paul. Merry Christmas. And last but not least, I've known this family for over 44 years. They are phenomenal. The Qualies at Qualies Electronics in Twin Falls. Get a gift for the whole family. I mean, go in now at prices that are unheard of. Christmas sale prices. And they've extended their hours for your convenience from 9 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 to 6 on Saturdays. And you'll get a gift that will be enjoyed for years to come. Qualies Electronics, with all the home theater systems, everything. Stop in and see them today, and they wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. It is your turn now. Give me a call, and I'd love to hear from you at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. One person has upset the entire Christmas cart at a school in Kentucky. One person spoiled it all. One person complained about some verbiage in the school curriculum Christmas pageant, and the whole play had to be redone. And the insertion of what they did was a very tasteless and classless video rock song, and it's got parents outraged. One person complained, and everybody threw their hands up in the air and said, "Oh, we got to change this." For one person. Think about this. One person complains about a nativity scene. It gets taken down. One person complains about the Pledge of Allegiance. The school stops it. Oh, they're running in fear. One person complains, and they disrupt our culture, our society, and our Constitution. One person. You know, I have had enough, and I on this program, as you know, I say it like it is. One complaint, one threat of a lawsuit, one disgruntled person changes and stops our beliefs and our cultural customs. And you want to know why and how come? Because we are cowards. Now, a lot of people are going to be offended by that. But just think about it and why I say what I do. We are cowards. In days gone by in this great country, think about it when you were a kid, or think about your dad and mom, your grandpa, whatever. And if somebody would have come up to you and said, "Well, that offends me, stop it," they might have walked away with a black eye or a bloody nose. We don't cater to one person's complaint. And for Christmas, that is a federal holiday in this United States. And when they made it the federal holiday status, Everybody knew it was the birth of Jesus Christ, our Savior, and the celebration of Christmas. So please tell me how and why buffoons and idiots can yell and scream and say, well, that offends me. You've got to take down that nativity scene. I don't want that up for Christmas. Well, if Christmas is based upon the birth of the Christ child, and it is a federal holiday, how do these buffoons and pathetic people get their way in demanding and saying, down with the nativity scene? You can't have that. That is Christmas, the birth of Jesus. And then they will throw out the complete incompetency and unknowledge on their part and say, well, we've got to have the separation of church and state. Now, I have put up on this program many times in the past a reward, a financial reward, that if you can find in the Constitution anywhere that it says separation of church and state, have at it, buckwheat, and I'll give you a check. All of this listening to and catering to minorities has really got my underwear in a wrinkle. And I've had enough. You know, at our lunch bunch that we have every month, we proudly get up out of the chairs and we say a prayer, and then we have the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we have, with the beautiful voice of Linda Croft, the singing of our national anthem. Oh, don't think for a minute that they have not had some people complain. The onesies complain about the prayer and the national anthem and the pledge. But I will never, and underline the word never if you're jotting notes down out there, liberal loons, I will never go to that level of quitting. I will never consent that we're going to have to take that away from the lunch bunch or any other program that I'm affiliated with. Ain't gonna happen. In other words, no cowardice from our lunch bunchers. We're not going to weaken to the onesies that are ruining our culture. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Shirley, you have a comment over what I've just said. Caller, I'll be right there. Don't forget the Book Plaza at 222 West 11th Street in Burley. Colonel Dale and the rest of the crew. Big Christmas giveaway with over $1,000 in prizes, gift, and cash. Woo! Register right there at the store. All the books, all the gifts, all the jewelry, everything at the Book Plaza. Wonderful people. 222 West 11th Street in Burley. Colonel Dale and the crew wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. By the way, too, I want to say Merry, Merry Christmas to our friends at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. Oh my, yes, I really do appreciate these folks. Nick Greenwell and all the physical therapists helping you get back to being you. All the sports medicine and exercises and the hydrotherapy pool. All ages from 6 months, little baby, to 96-year-olds. We're right in between. Helping you get back to feeling better, 678-1191. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Thank you for your patience, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes.
I just wanted to call in and tell you we went to see Russell yesterday, and he was doing pretty good. He was in good spirits, and he was wide awake, which is, I think, the first time since I've been going down I haven't had to wake him up.
Okay.
We cut off?
No, I'm listening to you, Jerry. I'm listening to you.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, he was in good spirits, and I think they're going to send him to Salt Lake for some work on him around the 27th.
Okay.
But he seemed in in good spirits, and everything was going good.
All right. Well, to you and yours, Jerry, God bless you for that report on a dear friend of ours, Russell Smith. And we're drawing...
I'm sorry I missed yesterday.
I am too. It was a wonderful, wonderful day.
To make your events, but I just had to go down there. It's the way it works.
All right.
I'll get out of the way. For some reason, my phone's doing some funny stuff.
Okay.
I don't quite understand it.
All right, Jerry.
Anyway, you have a great day.
God bless and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. There's a dear, dear friend. And by the way, you went down to see Russell Smith, a great friend of this program, lunch muncher, and 3 times Purple Heart recipient, fighting for our country, our culture, and our rights. God bless him. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. What do you think about the one-person attitude? Oh, that offends me. We got to take it down. Now, at this Charlie Brown Christmas in Kentucky, one person, one complaint said in the Charlie Brown Christmas they were putting on that they were totally offended. And this came out way back when they produced this Charlie Brown Christmas. I believe it was way back in like 1956 or something like that, 65. I've got to check on that to make sure my research is right. And it was back in 65. CBS, when they first saw the Charlie Brown Christmas, they all were in a tizzy over this statement by Linus. Let me read it to you. And then one person at this Kentucky school said, gotta go, can't have it, take it out. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you, ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace and goodwill towards men. I will not change Christmas, ever. And I will not be dictated to by the onesies. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Bell. Thank you so much for that reading. I think we need to get back to the original Constitution and start making people live by it. About the one-person mess that we have, we had a similar instance in Rupert, and I think you know what I'm talking about. We built the monument. One person had a problem with the flag being flown half-staff. And so we took it down, but then we jumped through a whole bunch more hoops and said to this one person, kiss my rump. And now it's flying half-staff in memory of all the Idaho soldiers that have lost their lives in every single war that we've ever fought.
Absolutely.
We need to tell these one-person peoples, shut the hell up and get out of town.
You bring this story up, and I was a part of it, and I was very glad to be a part of it. There was something that happened on it, and I'll just say from my point of view, because I'm very, very, what do I want to say? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm obsessed with not listening to onesies. I don't listen to these one-people complaints. I would have never taken the flag down to begin with. I would have said, no, you want to change it? You bring it on, because we are right, you are wrong, and I'll fight you to every court you want to go in. But that flag will stay there, and if you touch that flag, you will suffer the consequences. I am sick and tired of having people dictate, like this school in Kentucky, take out that part of your Christmas pageant. Or perhaps somebody saying, don't say the pledge. Or somebody else saying that nativity scene has got to come down. Or in this case, the flag has to be removed. Never weaken. Fight these people. They deserve a good bloody nose.
Well, I totally agree. And we didn't take the flag down for a long time, but then the city officials said we had to. But we went ahead and we fought. We went through Congress, Senate, the House, and we got Butch Otter to sign that we could fly that half-staff.
That's right.
There's only 2 places in the United States, Comfort, Texas, and Rupert, Idaho.
Right. All I'm saying, and I know you agree with me, is that we have got to stand up. The Americans, and the numbers are like 85 to 88% of the people that want God left alone. They want God left in the Pledge of Allegiance. They want people to be left alone that are Christians that honor Christ's birthday with a nativity scene. But we're losing because we're not speaking up and telling the vermin to go back into their holes and hide.
Oh, I totally agree, Zeb. And you know what? Like I said before, if they don't like the way we live, then stay the hell out. They don't need to come here.
Amen.
We don't want that kind of people here.
Amen. God bless you and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Zeb.
All right. Thank you very much. By the way, quickly, I got to get some commercials in here. Our friends at Minnekästha Sales, Zach and the whole crew. Oh, it's such a blessing to work with these people. They're so nice, so conscientious. And you talk about lumber, they've got all your lumber for maybe your projects around the house, the shop, whatever. And maybe you're going to do something between Christmas and New Year's. Well, they can help you. And they've got all the windows with the Western windows to keep the heat inside and the cold outside. And, of course, they can help you with everything. Tarter Farm and Ranch Gates and Panels. Hey, the best right there at Minnekästha Sales, 1321 East Main Street in Burley. And they sponsor Dr. History on Tuesdays. By the way, to a Merry Christmas wish from Dr. Christine Pickup. I'll tell you what, she is outstanding, knowledgeable about hearing and hearing problems, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, and she does wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Make sure you can hear all the Christmas carols and all the Christmas happenings. Maybe you need a hearing screening. Call and make an appointment today, right across from the Minidoka Hospital Emergency Room, and the number to call, 312-0957. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, wishing you a Merry Christmas. Oh, too, by the way, one of my favorite places, Sophie's Chatterbox. Oh, you have just a few days left to get your Christmas order in for pies and rolls and cookies and bread and sugar cookies. Oh, I love sugar cookies. I don't like the frosting, but I love the sugar cookies. Nice and plain, and I just sit there and eat like 20 or 30 of them. I know it's not on my diet, but it's Christmas. Anyway, decorated caramel apples, everything at Sophie's Chatterbox, 530 East Street in Rupert. Really good, folks. All right, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Honestly, what do you think about the onesies? And they're complaining, and they're winning, and they're telling, and their absolute ridiculous attitude about how they're right, we're wrong, get rid of the nativity scene, no more Jesus, no more God in the pledge. What? Don't anybody tell me, and I had a guy say this to me a couple of weeks ago, and the old German temper went right to the top. He said, well, it's a changing culture, and we have to abide by what other people's wishes are. No, I don't. No, I won't. I have a nativity scene in my yard. I think we have, I'm probably going to be wrong on this, but I think we have at least 7 or 8 nativity scenes up in my house celebrating the birth of Jesus for Christmas. I'm not going to change. It's Christmas. Don't weaken to these people. Stand there, look them in the eye, and say, so sorry you have to leave. Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I really expected a lot of people to jump up and say, to heck with the onesies. Anyway, don't forget our friends at Barry Equipment and Rental. Eli, Nick, Juan. I mean, they got some great people there. And they have all the equipment you need to get the job done right. I don't care if you need a Bobcat skid steer loader and you've never driven one. You say, holy cow, what am I going to do? They got a test track out there. You can test it out and make sure you know what you're doing. And, of course, they've got all the rototillers. They got the big Doosan loaders. Boy, those dudes are big and strong and going to move some dirt. You can bet on that. All of this and more with 3 locations: Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, South Lincoln and Jerome, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Barry Equipment and Rental. You see them today. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Zeb, my wife just told me a few minutes ago that, and she got it off of Facebook, that there was a nativity scene in the Rupert post office. One person complained, they took it down, and the person that was responsible for the nativity scene took it to another place and put it up. One person.
Yep. One person. I was not going to bring that case up this morning, but it's true. There again, one person, one complaint. Bob, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, one person could complain and they could say, okay, fine, I'll go sit in the corner and lick your lollipop and enjoy life.
You're right.
It's
a crying shame. And like the caller said before, if they don't like it here, get the hell out of Dodge.
But we are catering, Bob.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, Bob, God bless you and your lovely wife. You are great folks. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. One person. These school kids back in Kentucky at W.R. Castle Elementary School had this Christmas pageant all set to go, and it was exactly like it was on the television cartoon show that appeared originally in 1965. They weren't adding anything to it. They were going with the entirety of the script. And one person, one lowlife, said, nope, take that out of there. You can't do it. Now, I would have said to that one person, are you planning on attending? Are you planning on being a spectator? If not, please turn around, go back home to your vile, pitiful life, sit there, and count rocks. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Zeb. Okay, so when that one person does that, why don't people publicize their name?
Oh, I would. I would.
Because if they publicize their name in their community, in their schools, in their whatever, maybe they'll get the message when people either shun, ostracize, approach, let them know that what they've done is not right and not acceptable in this community.
Let me ask you a question, and I want to see if you agree with me or not. Our culture, our society has been changed to where you and I and all the people that celebrate Christmas, all the people that really want to keep under God in the pledge, we are now being held hostage by those that want to change and transform our society, and the way they do it is with a 5-letter word called money. They sit there and they threaten lawsuits that they know that the people like you and I do not or cannot afford to go to court and defend ourselves, and they think that they're going to kowtow us into their beliefs. But there are groups out there, my dear lady, like the Alliance Defending Freedom, that jumped in on this Kentucky case, and I'll tell you what, they don't get beat very often.
Well, I just think that the rest, we as a group, if we want to, our country is a Christian country. If you don't want to live in a Christian country, go live somewhere else.
Amen.
And if you don't like living in Rupert, Idaho, and a Christian society, move to Detroit, where all the Muslims live.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to worship a different God than Jesus Christ, there's plenty you can worship. You can go to another country and worship Allah, you can worship Buddha, there's somewhere for you. And if you choose not to worship a God, go to the hills and live by yourself.
Well, listen, though, and respond to this quickly. I don't mind at all if people are Buddhist or Muslims or whatever. They have that right to worship as they choose. However, the caveat is, leave me and my culture alone.
I totally agree. But I'm thinking that these people that want to take God out of our pledge and not have Christ in Christmas, which is a moxie, that is just ridiculous.
Right.
I mean, that's what Christmas is. But are people that don't believe in any God. They worship the earth. And they're so far out there and such in a dark place that they've lost all light that God gave them as a child when they were born.
I agree, and I think, honestly, the best response to the onesies is to absolutely scoff, laugh, and walk away and never, ever alter what you're doing. Challenge them, and if they want to bring it on, bring it on. And I, for one, many times in this area of Magic Valley, and I want you to know this, I have alerted the lawyers with the Alliance Defending Freedom on 3 separate occasions in the last 4 years about people that are onesies living right here in our community, and I said, if I find out any more about it, will you come in? And they said, we would love to. So don't be kowtowed by the onesies.
I agree, but I think as a community we need to stand up and we need to publicize their names in the papers, on the radio, on the school bulletin, whatever. I think everyone needs to know who that onesie person is. So, maybe as a business person, I can choose who I serve and who I don't.
Amen. I really like your attitude, and this is what we need more of. We need to stand up for us, our culture, our beliefs, and what our heritage in this country is. And I, for one, will do anything and everything. Hey, listen, I was looking for a job when I found this one 18 years ago, and I created it. I created this. And if somebody wants to fight me and take me on, bring it on, baby, because I'm looking forward to the fun.
Well, I know as a business person, all you have to do is tell a person that I trespass you. You are no welcome on my property, and if you come back, I will call the police.
Amen.
And that's all you have to do. And then they'll come, if they come back on your property, and they will arrest them for trespassing.
Amen.
You just have to tell them once.
And
I trespass you. I no longer want your business, and I don't want you in my store or on my property.
Amen. I wish there were...
I learned that this summer.
Well, I wish there were more people like you that had your attitude of defiance for what is right. Thank you, and may I extend to you and your family, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and God bless you and your family, but especially God bless America.
Thank you very much. Very well stated. God bless America. Don't weaken, folks. Don't be cowed into a corner, holding your blankie and sucking your thumb and going, oh, I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. Don't be scared. Be defiant. Be defiant for what is right. All right, time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by Mad River Laser. I talked to Nicole yesterday, and she said, "Hoo-wee, are we busy?" And we love it. I tell you what, great folks over there at Mad River Laser, 502 East Street in Rupert. All your year-end awards, your trophies, and, of course, all your business promotional products and all kinds of Christmas home decor items, everything. They have an outstanding business at Mad River Laser, 502 East Street in Rupert. I love just going over there and looking. You will too. Here's the weather with Gina.
Here's your weather forecast as we are getting ready to head on into the weekend. We are expecting some afternoon snow showers today, so just be careful if you're out there driving. High of 32, tonight low of 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 38 with an overnight low of 28. Maybe some afternoon rain showers on Saturday, high of 36 with an overnight low of 27. And partly to mostly cloudy skies for Sunday and Monday. Highs are going to be in the low 30s. Yesterday's high was 30 degrees, and the overnight low was 23. That's your weather for Zebeth Ranch.
Thank you very much. Brought to you by Mad River Laser, 502 East Street in Rupert. Nicole and the crew, these are wonderful people. You stop in and see them today, and they wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. You know, it was about... let's see, it was before Christmas last year, I believe. I got that letter in the mail. Caller, I'll be right with you. Don't go away. I got a letter in the mail. Naturally, it was unsigned. Naturally, it was didn't have a return address on, because most of these people are your basic cowards. Look up the word coward in the dictionary, and they probably got their face next to the word. And this person was really criticizing me about, you say God bless on the radio, that offends me, and went on and on and on about what they were going to do and how they were going to try to stop me, and gosh, it must not have worked because we're still on the air, and I'm still saying God bless, and I always will. I am not going to be dictated to by the onesies. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
You made me call.
I kind of figured you would.
The lady that was just on, I can tell her and everyone else who is listening that the one individual who we're talking about did not do the calling. What they did do was they called the organization called Freedom from Religion Foundation. You can find it on the internet. Just Google it. It's the largest free thought association in North America. And when I did some investigation as to why that nativity scene was taken off the post-office window and put across the street on another window, I was told that it was the Freedom from Religion Foundation who contacted the post office.
Yeah.
So while it may have been an individual in town, we will never know, but there are people here who are with that organization, and they are a watchdog and a voice for free thought, atheism, agnosticism, and skepticism.
That's exactly right.
So you're fighting, write them the letter.
Yep. You know, Gary, I'm glad you called, because I don't hide anything on this program. I talked to Gary last night on the phone, and Gary can tell you that I was very livid. Some of the words that came out of my mouth were not exactly Sunday school material. I am very, very livid about the onesies in our society that are absolutely like snakes on their belly. They are nameless. They are not known who they are, but they go out and try to change and craft our society into a very liberal, very secular type idea that they want everybody to live by. And I stand behind what I said, Gary. I am not going to change. I'm not going to listen to them, nor do I want anybody in the audience.
Well, absolutely. I sent you an email, and I also sent an email to 3 of our newspapers, because this happened several weeks ago, and I was surprised not to hear anybody talking about it, nor did I read it in any of the papers. So it just made me nuts. I thought I can't live through this Christmas without sticking up for it. And Becky Scow, she's a beautiful artist, and she decorates our windows around our towns just fabulous, and she's a Christian woman and always does a Christian theme. But for her to be threatened, and our people here at our post office to be threatened and then be afraid,
yeah,
because you don't know what these crazies are going to do, so we have to attack and get this Freedom from Religion Foundation out in the open and let them know what we really think of them.
Yeah, and Gary, I'd like you to respond also to the story that I was referring to back in Kentucky, where these kids and the teachers and the families, they put a lot of time and effort into re-simulating a Charlie Brown Christmas in the school. And one person, one adult complained and said, take it off, shut it down, don't do it, you can't have it. And they shut the whole thing down in all the rehearsal and created complete chaos. It's got to stop, Gary.
Well, we've gotten so politically correct that we almost squeak like grease wouldn't make any difference. where were all the people in that community who wanted it? They should have surrounded that school and said, no, leave it like it is and back these people down.
But everybody is afraid.
I wrote this letter today, put it in the mail, because I thought, somebody's got to hear it. And when I stood at that post office and remarked, people looked up. Some noticed something was different, but they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And then when I said the nativity scene is gone, look across the street, then they said, oh, yeah, oh, that was so pretty.
Well, Gary, you and I talked about this yesterday, and I brought it up, and why in the world can they be so ambiguous and say that Christmas is a federal holiday with the dictates of the federal government stamping their sign of approval on it, and years ago, dating back into the 1800s, and it, of course, has always signified the birth of Jesus Christ, and how can they be so turncoat and then say, well, it's a federal holiday, we celebrate Christmas, we give our employees off, and then, oh, but no, you can't have a nativity scene. That is total lunacy, Gary.
It's insane. And this old crap started years ago, as I recall, early on with this political correctness, is when the lady burned herself with too hot coffee at McDonald's in the 70s.
Yes.
So then one person gets to sue and change the entire society. And that's where we are, and we haven't been hurt enough until people get into the streets, and that's exactly what's going to happen for change in our favor.
I couldn't agree more. And by the way, knowing you and have worked with you on various projects and had you on my program, you're a great individual for standing up, and I want to issue to you and yours the merriest of Christmases, and God bless you. Thank you so much.
Amen. May I add one thing?
Sir.
I am a third generation, a grandson of immigrants who came, or Germans from Russia, who got out just before the Bolshevik Revolution. And I appreciate very much how I got here and give thanks every day that my families had the foresight to leave before they were sent to Siberia. And the same crap is starting to happen here, just repeating itself like history.
Amen, okay. Gary. Thank you so much. I have a lot of respect for that man, his abilities. He's written numerous books, a great historian, and all around a very nice person. And I share his contempt for the onesies. I share his contempt for those that want to take our cultural heritage and they want to denounce it, throw it in the trash, and remake what we honor and believe in. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. I've got a nativity scene here at my place, sitting right on my front counter.
Yep.
And these people that want to do away with it, if they really believed what they're talking about, then they wouldn't accept the vacation pay for the day.
Amen.
It would be against their beliefs.
Yep. You know, Doug, I'm not going to be passive on this. I'm not going to be little Zebby the nice guy. I'm not going to be kowtowing to these people. I will never adhere to these people. I honestly, I want to throw something at you real quick. I got another call waiting. I honestly believe that if we let these secularists, these onesies take over, Doug, it will not be long before they will say nativity scenes on private property are offensive because you can see them from the public roads, and they've got to come down. You know as well as I do that is in the realm of reason.
Yep. Just like what was that one skit that, I can't remember who the comedians did. It was step by step, inch by inch, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Abbott and Costello. And
yep.
To you and your family, a very Merry Christmas. I got to hurry and get another call, but by golly, I appreciate it, and call again, please.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
God bless you, man. Thank you. Caller, stay tuned. I'll be right there. I got to pay some bills real quick, and I'll be right with you. Don't go away. I want to remind everybody about our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you. 7 locations here in the Magic Valley. All your traction tires. I mean, all your traction tires. All the different tread designs, all the studded tires. They've got everything for you. I mean, everything. And, of course, the chains, the snow wheels. You do not have to be unprepared to go out on the highways and byways, you can stop in at any one of the 7, and they will make sure you're road ready for the slush, the mush, and the ice. And don't forget, too, they've got best in brake service, front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. A lot of people don't know they've got the best of batteries right there at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Caller, thank you for your patience. Go, you're on the air.
No, Zeb, if one of them has so much power being offended, what would happen or should happen if more than one of us stood up and said, "You're wrong. We are offended."
Well, Linda, that's exactly the whole point, but we're not doing it. And that's why I said earlier, and I know some people were offended, but we are basically losing our culture, our heritage, our beliefs, and our God-blessed religion with the faith of Jesus Christ as our Savior because we're not standing up and saying anything.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's designed, the whole thing is political correctness and calling us racists and calling us homophobes and a few other things is designed to tear us down and change our culture.
Absolutely.
And we need to stand up. And I think it's led by the one who originally crawled on his belly in the garden.
There you go. By the way, now that I have you on the phone, I want to issue a very sincere thank you for being a part of our program yesterday over at Denny's. Thank you for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you for your beautiful voice and singing the national anthem. And you will continue to sing at the Lunch Bunch. Nobody's going to shut us up. God bless you, Linda, and have a Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, Zeb. And it was very, very lovely yesterday.
Thank you.
Sorry I couldn't stay with you the last hour, but it was just absolutely wonderful.
I appreciate that. Merry Christmas, Linda.
To Denny's for doing it, too.
Oh, thank you. They appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And to you and Deanne.
All right.
Thank you and Merry Christmas, and God bless you folks.
Thank you. She is such a sweet lady, and oh, that voice. You know, I got to say this quickly, and I've said it before. I hear the national anthem and have heard the national anthem probably more than most. All across this country, I've heard it at various events, thousands and thousands and thousands of times. Linda's voice is second to none. Merry Christmas, and we will be back in just a few minutes. You're listening to Zeb at the Ranch. Make sure you're hearing everything. Contact Mount Harrison Audiology for a hearing screening, 312-0957. CBS News is next. I'll be back in 6. Oh, Merry, Merry Christmas. I'm Zeb Bell at Zeb at the Ranch, and of course, we're brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 great locations serving you, and of course, some of our great advertisers like Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. Hey, by the way, every day on this program, and we start at 8:06, we have the weather forecast brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. And look for the Blue Door. They've got great Christmas gift-giving ideas, gift cards, etc. You stop in and see them today. Cheney Flooring and Home Design in Burley. Look for the Blue Door. Really, really good folks. By the way, before we go to our chamber report this morning, I want to remind you about our dear friend Joel Heward and his family and his staff at Hanson Mortuary. They want to extend to you and your family at this time of year where families all get together and really appreciate one another and all the happenings of the past year and looking forward to the next year. They want to extend the very best of Christmas holiday and New Year's wishes to you on behalf of Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. Number to call for information, 436-5636. Wonderful people serving you at Hanson Mortuary in Rupert. Thank you very, very much. Let's see, I got another little note. I bet you Kay's chomping on the bit. Stand by. Don't worry, I've got to get this in real quick. Merry Christmas wishes from Butte Irrigation at 116 South 600 West of Paul. And also on Kimberly Road, your Zomatic dealer. They will get you wet. Oh, my goodness. And Butte Irrigation wishes you a very Merry Christmas. Along with Burley Glass. My buddy, Gentle Ben. Good guy. Knows all about windows, everything else. Burley Glass, 1029 Overland Burley. And the number to call, 678-1459. Merry Christmas from Burley Glass. A great man that's going to be, I think, a wonderful senator, Kelly Anthon, would like to wish you and all the people of the Mini-Cash area a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. As does Representative and Speaker of the House, Scott Bedke, wishing all of his constituents a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Be safe out there, and Merry Christmas. Whew, there she is. She's waiting patiently. Good morning, Kay Cameron at the Chamber of Commerce. Merry Christmas.
Good morning, Zeb. It's Heather.
Well, good morning, and wishing everybody a Merry Christmas from the Chamber of Commerce's Heather.
Yes, definitely a Merry
Okay.
Christmas to everyone who is out there listening.
What's going on at the Chamber?
Oh, we have so much going on. We just are excited for the holidays and getting everything ready. And just, to remind everyone, be safe while you're out traveling around with all the snow we've got coming. And then just with your packages and gifts that you're buying, keep them out of the windows of your cars and at your home, just to take that extra precaution this year.
You know something, Heather? I'm really glad and appreciative you brought that up again. We talked about safety and protecting your property and everything here about a week ago with the Cassia Sheriff, Jay Heward, but it really is a point that needs to be driven home. Don't flaunt your purchases. Hide them.
Don't. And even when you go to throw out those packages and boxes, tear them up.
I agree with you. Right. That's right. Now, what else?
You know what you bought yourself.
Absolutely. Wait a minute, stop. That is an excellent point that I had not thought of. If you get a brand new computer system or if you get a brand new home entertainment center, best to get rid of that stuff and not let anybody know the bad guys are out there.
Yes. Yes, they are, unfortunately.
Okay. And what else?
Other fun things that we have going on at the Chamber is our leadership program is coming up.
Okay.
And it's just a great opportunity to, once a month, go along with the Chamber on several tours and really get to see what this community has to offer.
Now, how do they go about going along with the Chamber? What do they have to do?
So you sign up for the year, and once a month, it's every third Thursday, we take this group of leaders out on tours and talk about leadership in the community and what's going on. So they contact us here at the Chamber, and we can get them signed up.
Okay. And, when you go on these outings, is it like during the lunch hour, or what time of day is it?
It is all day, from 8:30 in the morning until about 4:30 in the afternoon.
Holy cow, and what do they learn, basically?
They really get to learn how international and exciting the Mini-Cassia area is and everything that they're involved in.
Okay. Now, if somebody wants to sign up, why don't you give us any one of the 10,000 ways to contact you?
You can stop by our office here in Hayburn on 7th Street, or you can give us a call at 679-4793.
You know, Heather, I got to ask you, you were a little nervous going on here this morning, weren't you?
Well, I'm not a big fan of going on air, no, Zeb.
But I got to tell you, you did a super job. Now, do like they did in The Karate Kid. Breathe in, breathe out, and repeat as often as possible, and you're going to feel a lot better in about 10 minutes.
That is true.
Okay. And once again, the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Hey, you've got a great gift shop over there. Tell us about it real fast.
Oh, we do. We've got all sorts of Idaho gifts to give to your family or send to friends and remind them just how great this area is.
Okay. Good job, and Merry Christmas, Heather.
Merry Christmas to you, too, Zeb.
All right. Thank you very much. Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, really nice people. And that gift shop is second to none. I really like that. Let's pay some bills. Let's not forget about Let's Ride. Highway 24 between Rupert and the world Yes, sirree. 270 Highway 24, where the fun is sold. Yep, they've got all the snowmobiles. Yep, they got all the clothing. Yep, they've got all the accessories. Yep, they've got the snow plows for your four-wheelers. Yep, they got the four-wheelers. Have you been in there? My goodness, just open the door and let your eyes go left to right, right to left, down the middle, everywhere. What an inventory serving you. And also a great service department, too. Let's ride between Rupert and the world on Highway 24, where the fun is sold. While you're over in that neck of the woods, even though there's not that many trees in that neck of the woods, don't forget Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Oh, they wish you and yours a Merry Christmas. Yep, they do. Very dedicated and responsive to your needs and devoted to serving you. With all the life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits, they're the pros. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. 436-4424. Wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Going to stop right here, and I'm going to take a little time, might even get a little teary-eyed, to thank everyone connected with yesterday's Denny's Old-Fashioned Christmas. Now, I got to tell you, and I told Thomas this over at Denny's yesterday, I wasn't really sure how it was going to work with having Ken Mort on one side of Denny's restaurant singing Christmas songs and Christmas carols, and on the other side having the Burley High School choir, oh, beautiful voices, singing Christmas carols. It worked phenomenal. You talk about the talent. Ken Mort, just such he's like an old reliable right there, and you can always depend on getting the very best from Ken Mort. And then, of course, we were really blessed with the great voices of the Burley High School choir, led by Dusty Fisher. Wow. And I told him yesterday, anything or everything that he ever needs for that high school choir, just call us, we'll put it on the air. These are wonderful, great, polite kids. Wow. Then, of course, we had Santa Claus that diverted his attention from a mall opening in Jacksonville, Florida, and decided he would land the reindeer up on the roof at Denny's and come in and pass out candy canes all through the 3-hour program. I think he said he passed out like close to 300. That's a turnout. And also, along with that, I want to say thank you to George and Donna Mass. Just don't get any better than those two. God bless them. Thomas and Terry and the entire staff over at Denny's. I mean, Amber and Michelle and Jessica. So many more people, I'm afraid I might miss their names, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but the whole 3 hours there yesterday was just phenomenal. And then I've got to talk a little bit about a group of people that, and here's where I get a little teary-eyed, because I love each and every one of them, all the Lunch Bunchers. You know, Deanne and I are blessed that when we put on a special event around the community, or are part of a special event around the community, the Lunch Bunchers show up. I mean, man, you can depend on them. As soon as the sun comes up in the morning, you can bet the Lunch Bunchers are going to be there. And God bless each and every one of them. Another special thank you that needs to be said goes out to retired engineer, even though he worked like crazy yesterday, Jerry Thaxton, and the owner of K-Bar Radio, Kim Lee. They went out of their way to make sure that everything was set up perfectly for that remote yesterday, and it was outstanding. And to mention all the people that brought in presents, people that brought in candy, people that brought in cakes and cookies. I don't want to miss anybody's name, but I say to all of you, God bless you and thank you for your Christmas well wishes and your cheer. It was outstanding. Another young man that deserves to have a big thank you is Wheels over at our station. God bless Wheels. He is doing a phenomenal job of running the program. And don't want to ever lose him, and I always want to keep giving him kudos because he's a really good young man. Then, of course, as you know, excuse me, I can't get rid of that little cough. Time for a sip of water, Zeb. Feel better already. Then, as you know, we had yesterday what is called the Loot in the Boot. And I can't thank everybody enough. We had people come in and drop different size bills in the boot. We had people that you know absolutely are struggling for their next paycheck come in and put money in the boot to help needy families in this area. Now, over the course of the next couple of days, we're going to make a real quick run and take care of getting certain items for certain families that are in need. But thank you for supporting the Zeb at the Ranch Loot in the Boot. God, it just meant so much to us. I mentioned Linda Croft coming down and giving us the Pledge of Allegiance, and she's such a wonderful singer. Paul Peterson with all of his cartoons and everything. I am blessed. And to all of you yesterday that came in and supported that old-fashioned Christmas. And it was, man, we had like Hark the Herald Angels singing, and then we had Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I mean, it was beautiful. And Santa Claus, it was Christmas the way it should be and always should remain. Thank you. It was wonderful. All right, let's see what else have I got. I got to take care of some bills here real quick, and I want to remind you that a little bit later on this morning, we're going to have Jason from Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More on the program. And he's going to be talking about Santa Claus and all the great furniture buys that Santa left him over at the store. Oh, my. Dining room sets at prices that you can't afford to pass up. Recliners and chairs, comfort that you can't afford to pass up. And, of course, all the occasional tables and the sofas and the bunk beds. Everything, all the furniture marked down in prices that you just can't afford not to treat yourself. Great Santa specials at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. 459 Overland and Burley. You stop in and see those really nice people today. Really good folks. And by the way, while you're doing your Christmas shopping, and this is another little gift for you, make sure you protect yourself. And I urge you to stop over to Red's Trading Post at 203 5th Avenue South in Twin Falls. They have all the firearms, from Browning, Beretta, Weatherby, Ruger, Benelli, Smith & Wesson, Winchester, all the ammunition, all the accessories. And for those that like to reload in their basements at home, they have all the hard-to-find powder at Red's Trading Post, 203 5th Avenue South in Twin Falls. Since 1936, in the historic Old Town location, Red's Trading Post. You stop in and see those really nice people today. Holy cow, where'd all these dogs come from anyway? What's going on over there? Woo! Holy mackerel. Look out for that little poodle. There you go. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, Minidoka Animal Control, my buddy. And the answer to the question of, is Hank Williams still alive? Yes, he is. Here's Ken Mort.
Good morning, Zeb. How are you today?
I am good. Hey, you got your bells over there?
All the time.
Yeah. Everybody said you were a little bit ringy. Anyway, how are you?
What can I say? Doing great.
You know, you are exceptional. You are so community-oriented, and, man, I'll tell you what, you lent a lot to our Christmas, old-fashioned Christmas yesterday at Denny's.
It was my pleasure. I had a good time doing it and got several compliments from the side that I was on, and actually had a lady that asked me, she says, now, did Grandma and stuff and that forget to bring her medication? Or I says, well, no, she just forgot to take it, and she was drinking too much eggnog. We had no idea what was in that eggnog, and she just busted up laughing. She just loved that song.
Wasn't that a great day yesterday, really, with all those people?
It was fantastic. I mean, that was great to see all the people that showed up and supported it, and I mean, and the staff there was so gracious, and I mean, they were right there to take care of you when you needed to be taken care of, and it was awesome.
Well, now we're going to get to the serious part of our job here this morning. Please, I'm almost hoping that you don't have a dog that you want to feature this week.
Well, I hate to bust your bubble, but I'm going to feature one today.
All right, go ahead.
Not quite available yet. She'll be available on the 21st.
Okay.
But her name is Sudini.
Wait a minute. Sudini?
Yep.
You're really stretching it, aren't you?
Well, there's a reason I called her that.
Okay.
Well, she is a yellow lab cross, approximately 2 to 3 years old. She's yellow with white on her chest. She's a really big girl. I mean, she probably weighs close to 60, 70 pounds.
Oh, my.
But loves people, good with other dogs. I mean, with the new facility being up and running, and we're able to kick the dogs out into the yard and let them just run and play. I mean, she has a blast with the other big dog that we've got over there, Miley, who is actually going to be leaving this weekend, headed to her new home up in Canada.
Oh, my.
This girl and stuff in that is great with other dogs. I mean, they loves to play. She will run if she gets a chance. We didn't realize that where the chain link and the wood fence come together on the yard, that the dog could fit through there, and she proved us wrong. Even as big as she is, I mean, she was able to fit through a pretty narrow area. That's why we called her Sudini.
So you had to go out and employ all of your dog-catching efforts.
Oh, yes, because she turned around when she got loose. She ran for most of the day, and I spent most of the day trying to get her caught.
You know, for some reason, we should turn this into a video. It sounds really comical to me.
Oh, it was. I mean, she had me running across fields because we're kind of out in the country with the new facility, and I mean, we were trucking back and forth across fields. I'd go on one side of the sprinkler lines, and she'd hurry over to the other side, so I'd have to duck over. As soon as I'd get on the other side, she'd run back to the opposite side. I mean, it was like a game.
Well, now, how did you, honestly, I'm concerned, you are a former veteran, you're in good shape, but let's face it, she's got 4 legs, you got 2, and she can wear you down in a hurry. How'd you catch her?
Well, actually, and stuff in that, I just kept my patience and kept talking to her and everything. And when she realized that I wasn't going to let up, she turned around and she come right over to me and just sat down and was like, "Okay, go ahead and throw the leash on me. You got me."
You know, this is funny because, you know, that dog was probably sitting there running back and forth saying, "I got him, I got him, I got him."
Probably. But when I didn't let down, she knew that there was no chance.
Now, what about it? You say this is a Labrador cross, you said, right?
Yes, she actually looks like she might have a little bit of a border collie pinhead in her,
okay,
or a husky or something with a little bit longer hair.
Okay.
But she is a really beautiful dog. I mean, just as sweet as I'll get out. I mean, she just loves to give you loves and kisses, and I mean, just a great dog. Makes somebody a wonderful companion.
All right, what do they do? How do people come by and see if she might fit into their love program?
All they've got to do is they can contact us at 438-2200 or contact me on my cell phone at 670-7268. Haberman Animal Control Officer, they can reach her at 670-4348. Or they can come to our new facility at 50 West, 200 South there, Rupert, at the wastewater treatment plant, and we'll be more than happy to show them what we've got. You know, and
the reason I said what I said a little earlier about I hope you didn't have a dog to feature is at Christmas time, I want all the animals, all the dogs, kitty cats, horses, you name it, to have that surrounding of love. And I certainly hope that this dog, it sounds like a great dog, will find some family.
I'm hoping so too. I mean, she's going to make somebody, as long as they've got a good fenced-in yard, and that she will make them a wonderful, awesome pet. I mean, she's even house trained. She doesn't mess in her kennel. She waits until we let her outside.
Really?
I mean, she's really awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad you told me about her. And you know, the other thing I want you to elaborate on real quick, Ken, is you mentioned that you have another dog going all the way up into Canada. You must really be doing a wonderful job of research to find homes for these dogs.
What we do, we've actually got Gina and stuff, who's been on your program once before with me, who does a lot of rescue work and works with a lot of rescues across the nation, and to include up into Canada. And the lady that runs this rescue up in Canada that helps out with finding the bully breed type dogs that we get in homes, and matter of fact, she works for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in their office.
Oh, my.
Her husband's a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer. I mean, and she's very thorough when it comes to finding these dogs homes for us. And, I mean, matter of fact, a couple of the pit bulls that we have sent up there have went into the Royal Canadian Mounted Police's dog training program.
No kidding.
Yeah, they just fell in love with them. Matter of fact, back when they had the big Michael Vick thing,
yes,
she wound up with, I think it was like 5 or 6 of the dogs that were pulled out of that Michael Vick ordeal. And she actually had come down and seen us one time and was in her motorhome, and when she got down there, she had a couple of those dogs with her, and they were totally different than what they were Annette when she first got them. I mean, they like to play together. I mean, we're just totally 360-degree change on them.
Wow. You know, you are doing such a service, and I know you're in your new facility. I know it's drawing to the close of the end of 2015. What about basic Christmas gifts to you and the Minidoka Animal Control?
You know, one of the things and stuff that we'd like to really push is we need bedding, we need towels, anything like that. I mean, if you want to, if you're out grocery shopping, you're walking past the pet aisle and you want to grab a box of dog biscuits or some treats and stuff and that to bring over, so that on Christmas morning, I normally go over and clean the facility Christmas morning, so that my one employee that we have can have the morning off and be able to spend it with her family. I just go over extra early and take care of the facility, and before I leave, I make sure that every one of the dogs in there gets a nice Christmas treat, whether it be a little toy and stuff and that to play with, whether it be a treat and that in the form of a milk bone or a jerky piece or chew bone, whatever and stuff and that. We make sure that they have a wonderful Christmas as well.
Ken, you are a good guy. God bless you, your family, and Merry, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, Zeb.
All right, buddy. Thank you so much. Well, that guy is, I just said it, under the caliber and category of good guy. Really appreciate him. Where all these dogs come from anyway? Holy smokes. There you go. Who let the dogs out? Officer Ken Mort. Yes, sirree. I've known him for years. Good old boy. Hey, Merry Christmas wishes from Joe Taylor, 1826 Overland in Burley, 678-9400 with Carrie and Adams Realty. He's having a birthday celebration. They're going to have it at the Golden Heritage this Saturday. Try to be there. Joe Taylor, good old boy, and he knows real estate. K&R Rental, 256 South, 600 West of Burley, 678-3122. They got everything from forklifts all the way to backhoes and concrete tools. They can help you with everything at K&R Rental in Burley. Merry Christmas. And the good folks over at Haskin Insurance Services in Rupert. Man, these are nice folks. They want to wish all their customers and friends a very happy and safe Merry, Merry Christmas. Haskin Insurance Service, 629 Fremont Street in Rupert. Merry Christmas. Oh my goodness, let's go to the phone lines, and here is one of my favorite people, dear friend, Rita Ramsey. Good morning and Merry Christmas.
Good morning and Merry Christmas to you and all those who are listening.
Basically, have you got all your Christmas shopping done? Everything's wrapped, everything's cooked and baked, everything's ready to go?
I don't know why I would do that when I don't even have a Christmas tree up yet.
Oh, Rita! May I come over this afternoon with my little elves and help you?
Oh, you know, Glenn and I were just talking. It seems like it was just a couple of weeks ago where we put all the stuff back up in the attic, and here it is time to get it all out again.
Well, why don't you go and give Glenn the rest of the day off and have him put on his red suit and black shoes and his little stocking cap, play Santa Claus, and have that tree ready for you when you get home tonight?
Well, the thing of it is, because we're the only two at home, I have to get in the attic and lift it all down so that he can take it and move it in. And you can't do it by yourself, and it's kind of like I've been working till 9 or 10 o'clock almost every night the last 3 weeks. So it's kind of like, I'm just not going to do it yet. But we'll have it by the time the kids get here a week from tomorrow morning.
All right. Now, you must have one of those trapdoor attics like what was in Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase, where you got to be careful something might fall through the roof and kill you.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it's out in our garage, and it has a thing, you know, when you open it up, it has a stair step that comes down, and so you can kind of go up in there.
Yep, same thing.
Stuff, and then down. But it just seems like it was just the other day that we put it all away, and here it is time again, and I'm behind the gun, and I'm hoping that maybe Saturday I can start doing something for Christmas.
I do, too. Well, I want to tell you that Deanna and I wish you a very Merry Christmas. Let's talk a little bit about, I want to start with something that just took place this week. I want to get your feelings on it. I don't blame Donald Trump for standing up there at the podium the other night and saying that CNN was very unprofessional. My personal opinion, and my lovely bride and I talked about this, every single question, every single derivation of a question basically was aimed at denigrating Donald Trump, and finally he called him out on it, and then the news media, said he was thin-skinned. What are your ideas on that?
Well, no matter what's going to happen, they're going to go after him because he's an outsider. You know darn good and well that if Jeb Bush was the front runner and they were pretty confident that Hillary could beat him, they'd leave him alone.
I agree.
But because they've got somebody out there that's gathering a ton of support from not only Republicans, but from a lot of Democrats and Libertarians as well, independents. He's gathering a ton of support, and so they're going to go after him because, oh my heavens, we can't have somebody like that come in here. But the proof of the whole thing is that the Republican Party has betrayed its main people, who are the conservatives. There's a few old-timers out there that say, I'm going to be a Republican no matter what, and it doesn't matter, and a Republican's better than a Democrat. And we'll just go along with what they say we have to do. But it's just like a quote that Senator Sessions says. He talked about why GOP voters are in open rebellion. He says they have come to believe that their party's elites are not only uninterested in defending their interests, but, as with this particular legislation, which was fast-tracking the president's international trade project, they're openly hostile to them. And this is what the Republicans are doing to their base. I read a part of a letter last week at our Tea Party meeting where there was a person it was over to McCammon. It was a representative who actually came out and published that they did not want any Tea Party people in the Republican Party of Idaho, and that they can just get their own party if they want. We don't want them in here. They don't believe in the same values we do, and we don't want them.
How can you be that stupid?
What I understand is that the majority of Republicans believe conservatism, and the rest of them are just trying to put over a bunch of crap on us, which is not conservative. If you start looking at the voting records, and it doesn't matter whether it's in Idaho or in the Senate or the Congress, they're not voting conservative.
You know, Rita, I sat here and I listened to that, and I asked the question, how can they be that stupid? The Republican Party, and for those listening that are hierarchy of the Republican Party, what you did is blew an opportunity to stand up for your constituents and stand up for the rights of Americans and our Constitution. You blew it. What you did is put your Colt 45 in the holster, and you pulled back the hammer and shot yourself and the rest of America in the foot because you were cowardly and didn't stand up for your values. Do you agree with me or not, Rita?
Oh, absolutely, and the proof in the pudding is that, you know, and everybody's heard this. They told us in 2010, if you'll get us the Congress, we'll make a difference and we'll get rid of Pelosi, and so we give them that, and then we can't really do anything. So in 2014, they said, you know, if we had the Senate and the House, we could just do all kinds of stuff. We could stop Obama. We could make a difference. We could get rid of Obamacare and blah, 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 and on and on and on they went. They got that, and it's like, well, we have a president, and he has a pen. Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, let's talk a little bit in what you're conversing about with Harry Reid. Harry Reid is in the minority, but yet he is assumed, the press still assumes, and so have the Republicans, that he's still in charge. They kowtow to Harry Reid.
Well, they do, and they have him actually making more comments and acting like he's the leader instead of McConnell.
That's right.
That's because McConnell is just following along behind him, wagging his tongue like a little puppy dog, saying, okay, wherever you go, I'll go with you. It's okay.
And for those that are critical of what we're saying, you can call at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. But the truth is the truth. The Republicans basically have shunned their duty and their honor to their constituents and have not done a thing to stand up against an insidious administration that's leading us down the wrong secular path. That's it, bottom line. I'm not going to change my attitude.
Well, that's exactly right, and they just don't get it. They are so full of themselves and power that they absolutely do not want to entertain anything else or say, you know what, Republican values really are conservative, and if our party isn't any different than the Democrats, we should be looking back and reevaluating and saying, hey, no wonder these people are so mad, and there's a good part of the base. It's not like there's just a few fringe people out there, it's 0.5%. I'll bet you that if you started asking questions, you'd have way over 50% of Republicans that were really ticked off.
Well, let's just take a couple of categories, and I don't have any notes on this, but let's just say Keystone Pipeline. Where were the Republicans slamming their fists or their shoes on the platform or the podium condemning Obama? Let's talk about ISIS. Where were the Republicans slamming their fists and their shoes on the podium saying we're not doing anything, it's not getting done, ISIS is here, we need to stop them, Mr. President, and here's what we demand? Where were they on the economy? Where have they been on anything? They've been nothing but a bunch of old shoes laying in the closet, and you mentioned McConnell, McCain, and the others, and they're afraid to say or do anything because it's a maybe against the establishment. It's time to throw the bums out.
Well, it is, and I don't know necessarily that Trump is my favorite candidate because he really actually isn't, and he's not a fiscal conservative, but he is a businessman, and he is making us have conversations about what is wrong and needs to be fixed. And if that's who it takes to get things done, I'm okay with that. He is somewhat of a progressive, so it kind of makes me a little bit unseated about it. I just feel kind of like, oh dear. But if that's what it takes to get somebody else in power that will start moving things around and getting things changed, I guess we have to take that. The problem is that we got a new Speaker of the House, and he is on the exact same trail as Boehner was.
That's right.
He's doing every single thing that Boehner would have been doing. He hasn't changed a thing.
I want to talk to you about safety and security. I really am nervous, and I am closer to a lot of these security sources than most people back in Washington, D.C., New York, California, etc. And after Paris, then, of course, came San Bernardino. And then, of course, the threat the other day that literally closed down schools for 700,000 students in L.A. Then yesterday, the similar or comparable threats in Miami, Houston, and Dallas. You know what? It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that right now we are at a tipping point. We have got to do something to get security back in our country, get rid of the bad guys, find out who they are, and kill them. And this administration is doing nothing.
Well, you're absolutely right, and the reason this administration isn't doing anything is because the people aren't requiring it. If these people in the school districts, and ours included, it doesn't matter where your school district is, whether it's in Murtaugh or whether it's at Burley or whether it's over to Minidoka County, they need to start placing signs in their windows and letting their teachers know that if you have a license for concealed carry, It's totally up to you if you want to carry a gun or not. As long as you have a license for it, you can do it. And then that needs to be posted and made public that these schools may have teachers or administration or custodians that are carrying guns. And you come in here and you might find out that you're not going to make it out of here. And so what that does is that is the protection wall. That's the only protection wall that they need. Because anytime these incidents have happened, they were in places where those perpetrators knew that there were no guns,
right.
There would be absolutely no opposition to them doing what they had planned to do.
Let me ask you this, and this is hindsight, but Deanna and I have had quite a few conversations on this since the L.A. school closings. There are those that have criticized the school superintendent and said, oh, that was a terrible precedent. Now we'll get all the wannabes and the copycats, and we're really going to create a mess. And there are others that said, no, you have to err on the side of caution. You have to make sure 700,000 students within a school district are protected. And there were those in New York City with Bill Bratton, the police commissioner, and others that said, oh, come on, L.A., you shouldn't have kowtowed to these unrealistic threats. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think after what happened there just 10 days ago or 2 weeks ago in their community, basically, with the shooting, they couldn't do anything except close it down and say, you know what, we can't. Parents would be so livid if they would have received a threat like that and just, brushed it off like, oh, it doesn't matter. They actually had to just close it down and go and make sure that they had a thorough threat. Now, the thing of it is just like you said, because they've done it once, will they do it again? And in New York City, I heard last night we had to go down to Twin Falls, and it was about 11 o'clock when we were coming back, and I was listening on Patriot Radio, and that's the gun show.
Right.
And he had a guy on saying and mentioning that New York City, after 9/11, had to come up with and devise plans for terrorists that are just the kind of plans that they had to come up with are just unbelievable. And they had implemented those into all the schools, in all the businesses, and just everywhere. And so they basically have a different type of a plan set up to check these kinds of things. And so when something like this comes in, they do some quick checking and kind of, scan through and make sure that they're pretty confident about it, and then they just go ahead and don't let the kids out of school. Well, with L.A., they'll probably come up with something different. But I think the main thing was is as close to they were as the incident that happened where that guy killed all those people. Mm-hmm. They had to just say, you know what, we're going to have to take a day out of school and make sure that there's nothing warranted on this.
We're going to take a little break, and then when I come back, I want to talk to Rita about something I talked about in the first hour, and it is a group of people I call the onesies. We're going to be talking to her about that in just a moment. Right now, it's time for the weather forecast, and it's brought to you by Mountain Transmissions, now serving all of southern Idaho. Rick Mitchell and his whole crew serving you at 504 East Main in Burley. The number to call 678-9110. You put your four-wheeled Wonder in drive the other day and didn't go anywhere. You have a problem with the transmission, and they can help you. You better believe it. All makes and models, cars, trucks, RVs, motorhomes, 4x4s, everything. Repairs, rebuild, clutch repair specialists, they know transmissions. You better believe it at Mountain Transmissions in Burley. Here's Gina with the weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we are getting ready to head on into the weekend. We are expecting some afternoon snow showers today, so just be careful if you're out there driving. High of 32, tonight low of 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 38 with an overnight low of 28. Maybe some afternoon rain showers on Saturday, high of 36 with an overnight low of 27. And partly to mostly cloudy skies for Sunday and Monday. Highs are going to be in the low 30s. Yesterday's high was 30 degrees, and the overnight low was 23. That's your weather for Debbie Durant.
I appreciate that, Gina. Thank you very much. Job well done. And we really enjoyed the conversation we had the other day with Rick over at Mountain Transmissions. They know transmissions. If you're having a problem, you better get in and get it checked at Mountain Transmissions, 504 East Main in Burley. Number to call, 678-9110. Rita, I made a couple of statements this morning, and I stand behind everything I said. I will not be cowed or dictated to by what I call the onesies in our society. Those are the singular or maybe one or two or three voices that say, oh, you can't do that. You can't say under God in the pledge. Oh, no, you can't have that nativity scene. Oh, no, you can't say Merry Christmas. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no. I'm going to stand up and revolt totally against the onesies. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that we all should, and I think that it was an excellent point that they brought up, that when they put that monument up over at Rupert, that there was somebody that was opposed to them flying the flag at half-mast.
Right.
And they went in and said, this is the reason why we're doing it, and sorry, but that's what we're going to do. You have to just let them say their piece and then say, okay, that's fine, but we're still going to do this. My big deal is with these people who don't want Christmas, you know, every one of them is just really, really glad to take a paid holiday for that day. And besides the fact that they won't look at it and say, well, what is Christmas? How come there's a holiday, or what does it mean? Well, if the meaning of it has to do with centered around the birth of Jesus Christ, our Savior, why should they be mad that you would put up nativities or say that that's the reason for the season or anything else like that, or read the Christmas story right out of the Bible. The Bible's a history book, for crying out loud. Well, and so for people to do that, they're just seeing if they can sway a few people that will take their place and make the rest of us just sit back and say, okay, we'll just bow to you. We have to stand up and say, you know what? While you may not like it, that's just fine. Don't look at it. We're not trying to offend you. And the end. This is what we're going to do.
Well, here's my take on this. The freedom from religion vermin, I have no good things to say about them, nor will I. They have destroyed a lot of the culture and heritage of our country. The day of Christmas is a federal holiday. Okay, now Rita, help me on this. I got to understand this better. I'm an old man. If it's a federal holiday, and it was given federal holiday status because originally, and the concept has always been, the birth of Jesus Christ, and the nativity scene is representative of the birth of Jesus Christ, how can a post office or any other building say, oh, we can't put up the nativity scene if it's a federal holiday?
Well, that's just it. They're just trying to do the stupidest things, and people will actually bow down and say, oh, yeah, okay, fine. The thing of it is the Constitution doesn't say one thing about that kind of stuff.
That's right.
And the other deal is they always go, all this religion and Church of Satan and all this other baloney that's just what it is. It's baloney. Because the amendment about people and religion was that the government could not force you to be a member of a specific congregation or church.
That's right.
That's what they had in England. It was called the Church of England, and everyone was required to be a member of that church. That was the rules, and that's why they said in what they did was, hey, we want to make it known that if you want to be a Baptist or you want to be Lutheran or you want to be a Methodist or you want to be a Mormon or you want to be a Jew or whatever you want to be, you can be that. The government is not going to force you to be a member of any particular church.
That's right.
That's what it was. It wasn't that we can't say God or have a nativity or anything else in public places.
That's right. You know, and speaking of the onesies, the story that I related to this morning that really has got my neck with the hair standing up is Johnson County, Kentucky, and they practiced for months and months to replay their version of Charlie Brown's Christmas, and one person stood up and said, "Oh, you can't do that because Linus in the Charlie Brown Christmas relates about the birth of Jesus." And they stopped and shut down the whole play and totally put the Christmas spirit in chaos in Johnson County, Kentucky. This has got to stop.
Well, it does, and unless people start standing up and saying, no, we're not going to do that. This was read out of a book, which is a history book. It's history. It's in the book. We haven't changed it. We're not proselyting to anybody to join a particular faith or anything else. We're simply reading something out of a history book, which is the reason for Christmas, and we're sorry that you don't like it. If you don't, your ears and just don't worry about it. And just let them go instead of bowing to them.
That's right.
What happens is one person jumps up and screams, and everybody bows to them, and they get their way, when all of those other people should have been saying, you know what, we're sorry that this offends you, but we're not going to bow to you, so go about your business and have a nice holiday.
Absolutely. You know, but what bothers me is with these people that are very, very sinister, the freedom from religion people, nobody knows who they are. Nobody knows who filed the complaint. Nobody knows anything about them. They're like little rats that come out of their hole at night and they shuffle along on the ground and create all these problems. And you know as well as I do, Rita, that the day is coming if we don't stand up. Under God will be taken out of the pledge. Nativity scenes could be stopped on private property because they're seen from a public roadway. All of these things are very possible if we don't show some courage.
No, that's absolutely right. And the reason why they hide and scurry around in the dark like little rats is because they don't have any fortitude. They don't have any kind of any kind of ammunition except that you can't do it because the government says you can't.
Yeah.
Is they just need to be set back on their haunches or have the rat hole closed off and say, no, you're not going to do this. You have freedom to do whatever you want, and we do too, and we're not going to back down. And pretty soon, if people started doing that, you wouldn't have all of these people coming out of the woodwork trying to get attention, and that's what they want.
Absolutely. I've only got a real short time left. Tell us what's going on with the Tea Party.
Well, there's not really too awful much going on with the Tea Party. However, we have found out that there's a PAC that's being formed up in Boise to target conservative Tea Party type people who are precinct committee people. And so we're going to have to start standing up for the values that the Tea Party stands up for, which is fiscal responsibility, less regulation, and going by the Constitution. And anybody who objects to that can have an argument with me, and we'll see where that goes. That's what we're for. I
look forward to that. I'll tell you what, God bless you, and to all you folks over at Ramsey Heating and Electric, Merry, Merry Christmas, and please, please take 5 minutes this weekend or more and put that Christmas tree up.
Well, it's getting close enough. We're going to have to. Our grandkids are going to be really disappointed when they get here if we don't. So, Merry Christmas to you and to all of you out there in our audience.
All right. Thanks, Rita. God bless you. Thank you so much. Very, very nice lady. I look forward to having her on the air every week. Rita Ramsey. Thank you. You know, we get up at 3:45 in the morning and have a little bitty bowl of cereal, whether bran flakes or corn flakes. Oh, it's gone. It's gone, and I'm hungry, and I'm starving to death. And I'm going to tell you some great places to go, like Taco Bandito. I love this place. 2301 Overland in Burley. They've got the Taco Bandito with bacon with jalapeno. It's jalapenos. Really good and spicy burritos, and they've got chicken and steak burritos. You're going to love them, and the special sauce. Oh, I'm drooling. Taco Bandito. 2301 Overland in Burley. Let's move on over to Steve-O's. Love Steve-O's. 290 South 600 west of Heyburn. Food made the way you love it. Oh, they got a great kids menu. Yep, they do. And, of course, you know about the world-famous Steve-O's nacho fries, topped with cheese and jalapeno peppers, and the pork chops with salad and choice of potatoes. Oh, nice people. Oh, great menu at Steve-O's, 290 South 600 west of Heyburn. And now not one, but two great places to go. Burgers, etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert, and 700 Overland in Burley. Eggnog milkshakes. Delicious for the Christmas holidays. And delicious burgers and onion rings and all the tater tots, everything. And every Sunday, a shrimp dinner special at the Burley location. Really nice people at Burgers, etc. in Rupert and Burley, wishing you a Merry Christmas. And last but not least, AC Drive-In. Man, I'll tell you what. If you really want to treat yourself to a special treat for Christmas, stop in there and have one of those chicken fried steak sandwiches. Ho, ho, ho! Santa Claus would go a million miles for that. 601 East Main in Burley, AC Drive-In with the mint milkshakes for Christmas and the special French fries with the special sauce and the famous Farmer Brown burgers. Oh, my. Great eating at the AC Drive-In in Burley. All of these great places, and if you're hungry and starving to death, that's where you should go. We're going to take a little break for a few minutes and then come back, and next hour we've got Cassia County School Days, and then we've got a special business salute, and today we're going to be talking to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More, and then a very interesting lady at 10:30, Katie Brown, and she's going to be talking about fracking here in America and dispel a lot of rumors that are being put out by the liberals. Oh, I can't wait for that. We'll see you back here in about 6 minutes. Don't go away. Oh, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. That's what it is, and we'll stay on this program. Merry Christmas. Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. And don't forget to some of our great advertisers like Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. We're going to have our next guest on the program in just a few moments, but right now, don't forget, oh boy, if you're going to be Christmas shopping, you need to stop in for lunch and treat yourself at the Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. Today's special, chicken parmesan, served with choice of potato, veggies, and super salad. Chicken parmesan. Yeah, it sounded like Peyton Manning there. Anyway, the Chadwick Sports Grill. They're going to love this ad. The Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. There we go. I'm sorry about that. And let's see, what else have we got cooking? Oh, we got to give some Christmas wishes out right now from these businesses. How about, excuse me for choking again, Clark's for Shopping, 100 East Main Street in Oakley. How's everybody in Oakley all ready for Christmas? Clark's for Shopping with that famous breakfast sausage, Grandma's Recipe bulk patties or links. It's made in the store and it's delicious. Fantastic. You're going to love it. Merry Christmas from Clark's for Shopping. You know, our dear friend Kyle over to Riverview Urgent Care and Medical Center. I'll tell you what, they are just absolutely phenomenal. They've got locations at 382 North Overland in Burley and 133 West Avenue A in Jerome, and a brand new location that's being built now as we speak in Twin Falls. We're going to tell you about that. Kyle and all the staff at Riverview Urgent Care Centers wish you a very Merry Christmas. And last but not least, also Scott Gano of Gano Landscaping and Sprinkler Service, 336 South, 450 West of Hayburn. Number to call, 438-2485. They wish you a very Merry Christmas. Nice people. Scott Gano Landscaping and Sprinkler Service. Well, now, let me see here. I got to get ready for our next segment. What else have I got to do to remind you quickly before I go there? I want to make sure I didn't forget anything today. We had all of our birthdays. We had all of the people that we wanted to mention earlier. And so now I will tell you that we're all set to go to Cassia County School Days. And Cassia County School Days is brought to you by A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. Oh, my goodness sakes, all the toys, all the games, puzzles, books, books, 25% off. Hey, if you're shopping, save money. And they've got all the winter clothes that are 25% off. Save money at A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley. And also the Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley, 677-8888. That is the number to remember to schedule your outpatient surgeries, like maybe colonoscopies or tonsils or knee surgeries. I'm telling you, they can help and they will save you money. Ambulatory Surgery Center, 677-8888. And right now, it's time for Cassia County School Days, and we're going to be talking to two new young Steven Spielbergs, Josh Beck and Devin Loveland. How are you this morning?
We're doing great. How are you?
Not too bad. Which one am I talking to?
This is Devin Loveland.
All right, Devin. And is Josh standing there waiting anxiously to pick up the phone?
Yes, I am. Next to him.
All right. Okay, guys, I understand that you two put together a video that earned, holy buckets, I'm in awe, $100,000 for Burley High School. What in the world are we talking about here? What kind of a video, and where'd you get the idea?
Well, Andrew Ray, our vice principal of the school, approached us and asked us if we would make a video for this contest. And Josh and I have made videos for a while, and we decided to take on the challenge.
Now, when you say make a video, wait a minute, let's stop right there. What kind of a video? What was part of this challenge? What was the main theme?
Well, State Farm was putting this contest on, and the theme was to drive 2 and 2, which meant drive with 2 hands and 2 eyes on the road. And we basically had to make a 30-second video that promoted safety for driving.
Okay. Now, how many people, how many schools, how many students across the United States were involved?
We were told, I think it was around 700, 800 plus schools.
Okay. And out of all the, how many videos were there? I was told there was thousands of them. Is that right?
Honestly, I can't tell you the exact number.
Okay.
There were quite a few.
How did your video get selected? What was the criteria that they judged on?
So every day, the public would vote on their favorite video. So we basically told our school, our classmates, to get online, celebratemydrive.com, and vote for our video.
I see.
We'd vote every day, and so we just kept promoting it.
Okay, now,
whole week.
Let's talk a little bit about the video itself. Now, do either of you have any training? Had either of you talked to anybody that was possibly involved in the production of TV shows or anything like this? How did you learn what to do and what not to do?
Well, we don't have any classes about cinematography or anything like that. We're basically self-taught. We've got a few good friends who have done it before, but most of the stuff we've kind of taught ourselves.
Okay, now, what kind of equipment did you use? I mean, did you have special cameras? Did you learn how to use special equipment? Tell us a little bit about that.
So we use a Canon T2i Rebel, and that's basically the camera I've used to film all my projects. And we basically use that and then just a microphone, so not a lot of equipment.
Okay.
And then we also had a friend use his drone to film the last shot in the video.
Okay, now give me a little setup on how the video went and what was the main theme of the video again. What did you try to portray?
Well, we decided that since what they're getting at is kind of the basics of driving, you've got to have 2 hands on the wheel, 2 eyes on the road. We wanted to keep our message simple too. So we focused on how you use your hands and eyes in everyday life and how much more important it would be when you're driving a motorized vehicle.
Okay. And what was the duration, the time of the video? How much did you have to fill to make this video?
About 30 seconds was the max.
30 seconds. Now, when you were sitting down, both of you, Devin and Josh, and you were figuring out, okay, now we've got 30 seconds. We need to make a sale point in that video and get our point across. Boy, that must have taken a little scratching of the head and a lot of do-overs, did it not?
Well, actually, we had several plans, and what we did was we got all the footage for all three of the plans, and we picked the one that we thought would look the best and come together the best in the end.
Okay. Now, $100,000, please tell me honestly, when you heard that you had won that money for Burley High School, how many times did you do the Sugar Plum Fairy dance across the front yard?
Many times. We probably, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of a weird feeling knowing that a small town like Burley could win such a national contest.
Okay, now, does this open the door for both of you or one of you to go on and try to stay in cinematography or videography? Is this really something you're interested in?
Well, both of us are planning on continuing in cinematography. That's what we plan on doing. And we really enjoy it. We feel like it's something we're good at, something we're passionate about, and we feel like we can make a living out of it.
You know, I don't mean to brag, but I have been involved in the film industry for a major... Hold on just a second, boys. I had a little choke there. I have a real bad cold, and I apologize. I've been involved in videography and cinematography for many, many years. And with my former television shows and also being in the movies, it's a great interest to me. What aspect of it would you like to really pursue?
Well, this is Josh speaking, but I'm more of the camera side. That's what I love doing. I like being behind the camera, so I'd probably go and hopefully be a director of photography someday. That's the big goal for me.
When you watch a movie on television now, or maybe go to the theater, or possibly going to the new release of Star Wars, are you more critical and more conscientious of how various shots were taken?
Well, we're actually going to the Star Wars premiere tonight, right after school. And so when we watch movies, we're still able to enjoy them. We're not just criticizing them the whole time. But we have a lot more awareness about how they do things and a healthy dose of respect of how much time and effort goes into the movie.
When you shot this video, what were you the most cognizant of? You knew what you wanted to try to sell as far as your point is concerned, but did you want to redo it after it was over, or were you satisfied with the net result?
Yeah, we were satisfied over the whole project. It took a couple times we kind of got stressed about it because we would film and then we realized those shots wouldn't work, and so then we'd have to re-plan and then reshoot, and the deadline was getting closer and closer, so luckily we made it. So.
All right, now let me ask you this, the $100,000. $100,000! I mean, my goodness, where does that money go and what's it going to be used for?
Well, a certain percentage of it, 23% I believe, has to be used to promote safe driving at our school, and then the rest of it can go to whatever else our school needs. Okay.
So you're kind of like, you're walking on thin air. Everybody looks up to you as the new Steven Spielbergs and the new producers. Man, you can write your own ticket at school, can't you?
Yeah, I guess you can put it like that.
Okay.
It's very fun. But I'd like to say something real quick, if I may.
Absolutely.
All we did was make the video. The real thing that allowed us to win was the effort from the community and everybody coming together, and the school kids telling their parents to vote, and it kind of spread like a wildfire. It was truly amazing because we got into the top 100, but it was the voting that allowed us to win the $100,000.
Absolutely. That's very nice of you and very well stated, and I'm glad that you thanked the others that helped you propel to number one. And just think about this. Maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, you might be standing up at the Academy Awards getting an Oscar, and then you'd have to have everybody thanked all over again. That's great, isn't it?
That is great. It's a good feeling to know that a community can come together like that for something that we really needed.
You know, and I want to go back to a point I made a minute ago. Both Josh and Devin, I would bet you that when you're watching like Star Wars or if you're watching any movie, if you're like me, I'm very critical about mistakes. I'm very critical about things that were not supposed to be on camera. And I don't care what movie it is. I don't care of what decade. If you really sit down and study movies, you will find mistakes that should have been caught, but they're still on film. And believe me, there's a lot of mistakes that are made that people are sorry for after the film has already been released. Your comment.
Well, being a cinematographer in my personal life, I kind of feel like sometimes, I don't know if this is true, but sometimes I feel like directors sometimes like leaving mistakes for audience to pick up. Sometimes, because it's kind of, I don't know, it makes the audience feel good knowing that they made a mistake sometimes. But it's kind of like a trademark.
You know, that might be.
Yeah.
I know in Smokey and the Bandit movies they made a lot of mistakes per se, and they wanted the audience to follow the outtakes afterwards. I know in the Ben-Hur movie, a guy was climbing up over the wall, and he had a wristwatch on. Those are mistakes they don't want to make when they're talking back to the Roman times. And I know that a lot of Westerns have had baled hay when balers hadn't even been manufactured at that time. So I think a lot of it makes sure, you need to make sure that you have realism, and I think you guys really did a great job. Congratulations for winning $100,000 on your video for safe driving at Burley High School. God bless you, and Merry, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
All right, have a good weekend and enjoy Christmas time. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You too. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Two good kids, two great guys from wonderful families, Josh Beck and Devin Loveland in Burley. Man, I'll tell you what, that is great to think of all the, I think I heard that there were thousands of entries, and to be picked out of that as the best, $100,000 for Burley High School. Whew, that's good. And believe me, I think their interest is piqued to possibly get into cinematography for the future. Good luck to them. We got to pay some bills here. More Christmas wishes, and on behalf of Rogge Auction Company. These are really good people. Ron, Cade, Corey, and Jed, the best auctioneers around. And if you're selling your farm or farm equipment, remember to call them at 431-0074. They can handle the job for you. Rogge Auction, wishing you and yours a very Merry Christmas. Along with our dear friend, Representative Fred Wood, and I really thank them for the job they do for us. Representative Fred Wood said we live in a blessed country and we should be very thankful for all we have. Merry Christmas from Representative Fred Wood. Thank you very much. You know what? I think what we're going to do right now is we're going to move on over to some folks that I haven't talked to for a long, long time. Let's ask Wheels if we have Jason from Lee's Furniture on the phone. Is he ready?
I am getting him on right now.
All right, thank you very much. Once again, a reminder that next week, Monday and Tuesday, we'll have regular programming. And then on Wednesday of next week, we're going to have my Zeb Bell Christmas Open House. And for those of you that have listened over the many, many years, right before Christmas, we have the Zeb Bell Open House, and we have people dropping by and coming on the radio and extending Christmas cheer and holiday well wishes. And we have special segments with poetry and different songs, etc., all for Christmas. And that's going to be next Wednesday right here in the studio at Zebeth Ranch. And boy, we have, I think sometimes we have close to 100 people stop in and say thank you and get on the air and enjoy the program with us all 3 hours next Wednesday. That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's check back over to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More. Wheels, is he there?
Yes, sir, he is.
All right, thank you. I want to say welcome back, and that's, of course, our friends at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland in Burley. Santa Claus stopped over there early in the month to make sure that they had all the furniture specials for you. Merry Christmas from Lee's Furniture. Good morning, Jason. How are you?
Good, Zeb. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, it's a treat to talk to you again. It's been a long time. And tell us about some of these great Santa specials in Lee's Furniture.
Well, you know, in an effort to help a lot of those guys out there who don't exactly know what to get for Christmas, we have some really good sales going on. Some good stocking stuffers as far as some artwork to some really nice specialty memory foam pillows that your wives will just absolutely love. We've got chair-side tables, curio cabinets, all marked down just as far as we can take them down. So right now is a great time to come in and get some of those great stocking stuffers.
Oh, my. I'll tell you what. And then also from bunk beds to sectionals to sofas. I mean, Santa really brought a sleigh full of savings over there.
That's right. We have sofas, a huge selection of sofas at just $3.99 for the sofa. You can go ahead and get the sofa and love seat for just $6.99. And Zeb, this isn't just one or two sets. This is a big, large selection we have marked down just to really help with those holiday shoppers. We have occasional tables at $1.99 for 3-piece occasional tables. That's a coffee table and 2 end tables for your family room. And then, of course, our dining sets, we have a 5-piece table and 4 chairs at $3.98. We've got a 5-piece at $4.48, a 7-piece at $7.98, $9.88. We've just got dining tables marked down, bunk beds, great for the kids, at $2.79. Mattresses sets are just on clearance right now. We have a mattress that's normally $1,500, a queen size. Right now we have it at $5.99, Zeb. It's a still of a deal. You get your pocketed coil, just an excellent buy.
You know, a lot of people forget themselves at Christmas time. And, you know, I think it'd be great for the husband and the wife to load up in the car or the pick-em-up truck, head on down there and treat themselves to some of these Santa furniture specials at Lee's Furniture. What are the hours?
Well, Zeb, we're open 9 to 6 during the weekdays and then 10 to 5 on Saturdays. And just so you know, a lot of these specials, some of them are one-of-a-kind, things that we necessarily can't reorder in at that same price. So hurry in and come take advantage of the best selection and get a really good buy.
All right, now it's no money down, no interest, 12 months on approved credit. Is that correct?
Correct. Come in, take advantage of the special financing available. It's real easy. It takes about 2 minutes to do, and then you're on your way home with some new furniture.
All right, now who at the store has drawn the short straw to be dressed up as jolly old St. Nick in a little pot belly and say, ho, 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 Merry Christmas?
We were hoping you would come down, Zach.
I got the pot belly. Jason, I'll invite everybody in and tell them the location and how easy it is to get there.
459 Overland here in Burley. You know, we're right on the main road. Very easy to find us.
You know, I want to extend to you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And Jason, thanks for coming on the program this morning.
Thanks, Eb.
All right, sir. Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland in Burley. Really nice people, and they wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas. What do we got coming up? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We are going to take a little break in a few minutes. And coming up next half hour, we have a lady by the name of Katie Brown. And Katie is with the, I don't know if I got to find this group here. She is a spokesperson for Energy in Depth, a research and education program of the Independent Petroleum Association of America. And she's going to be talking about how fracking has actually helped the United States lead in climate change and fight climate change. So we're going to have her on the air coming up at 10:32. Quick reminder again that next week, of course, will be a short week. We'll have our program on Monday and Tuesday, and Wednesday will be my open house, my Zebeth Ranch open house. And then, of course, we'll be off for the rest of the week for Christmas. And we want to extend to you and yours, if you haven't done any shopping like I have not, you better hurry. And I'm going to start tomorrow, I guarantee it. Merry Christmas to everybody. We're going to send it back over to Wheels at our main studio. I'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KVAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb.
Oh, welcome back and Merry Christmas, everybody. Right here at Zeb at the Ranch, we're on our final 30 minutes for this week, as a matter of fact. And if you're like me, I'm going to run out the door right after this program and aim for a store to start my Christmas shopping. Gotta get it done. I'm running late. Good morning to everybody, and it's time for our next guest, and we're very fortunate to have a young lady that's a spokesperson for Energy in Depth, and she recently has written a piece called How Fracking Has Helped the United States Lead on Climate Change, and I'd like to welcome on the phone line Katie Brown. Good morning, Katie, and Merry Christmas. How are you?
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Katie, give us a little background on your organization, Energy in Depth. What kind of an organization is it, and what do you represent?
Sure. So Energy in Depth is a research and education program of the Independent Petroleum Association of America, and our focus is to make sure that folks have the facts and the science on hydraulic fracturing, shale development.
Okay, now, for my audience, and for those that might have been living under a rocket or in a closet and don't know what fracturing is or what it represents or what it can do, why don't you give us a thumbnail sketch, please?
Sure. So it's a technology that has allowed us to access resources that we were never able to access before. And it's created this incredible energy boom across the United States in just a few short years. And it has, in the process, really strengthened our economy and also improved our environment as well.
Katie, answer the naysayers, those that are saying, oh, it's going to hurt our environment, oh, it's going to kill children, oh, it's going to damage our water supply. How would you respond to those?
Good question. So the Environmental Protection Agency has just released this year a 5-year study on the potential of hydraulic fracturing and groundwater resources, and they found that there were no widespread systemic impacts to groundwater from the process of hydraulic fracturing. And that's actually the latest in a long string of studies that has found similar conclusions, that fracking is not a credible risk to groundwater. But as far as what you were saying about the air, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has actually said that it's because of the United States' increased use of natural gas from fracking that we have the lowest greenhouse gas emissions in 20 years. And so there are a lot of environmental benefits as well.
Katie, let me say this, and I want you to jump in, and if you don't agree with me, let me know. This administration currently, led by a man that is so amateur and so unknowledgeable, and what he's doing, I think, is just literally killing the fabric of America for progress, and we need energy. We need lots of energy to get back on top and stay number one. You're kind of torn between an Obama administration that wants us to live in a cave and maybe burn sticks or buffalo dung to keep warm, as compared to where we could be with fracking and all the assets that God's given us in this country. What are your thoughts?
Well, fracking has brought incredible benefits to this country, and that's something actually that President Obama has acknowledged in the past. He has said that it's reduced our greenhouse gas emissions. He has said that it's safe on a number of occasions, and so have his top environmental regulators, including Gina McCarthy, who is the EPA administrator. She said that there's nothing inherently dangerous about fracking that sound policies can't accomplish. And so you're actually seeing a lot of top Obama administration officials saying really supportive things about the technology. So that's important.
Well, I understand that, but why on mostly the left side of the aisle is there an approach to, can't do that, better not do that, we shouldn't do that? Why is there such a negativity approach to innovative ideas about energy?
Well, I think a lot of that is coming from a small but vocal minority of anti-fracking activists. It's groups like Food and Water Watch and the Sierra Club, groups like that are pushing a lot of misinformation about the technology. And it's folks like Josh Fox, too, from Gasland, that are putting up images of flaming hoses that turn out to be a fraud. And so these are the kind of things you see, but when you look at the actual science, you're seeing that it's a technology that is safe and the risks are manageable.
Absolutely. One group you didn't mention, but it's on the list, is Greenpeace, and their former leader said that most of Greenpeace today are a bunch of liars and frauds. And I think every environmental group should be investigated as to what their real meaning and their real reasons for stopping things are. Wouldn't you agree the environmentalists have done more harm than good?
Well, these groups certainly aren't following what the scientists have said or what the EPA have said, the USGS, the Department of Energy, or the IPCC. In fact, they're denying the science of the IPCC on greenhouse gas emissions.
How much more widespread is this industry looking at in the next 5, 10, or 20 years? Is this something that is so innovative that it's going to grow and escalate in importance?
I certainly think so. As you can imagine, there has been a bit of a downturn due to oil prices. However, the USGS just released a new report about how we have so many more resources in places like the Barnett Shale than we ever even realized. And so, our resources are great, and they're there, and I think it will continue to be a really positive story for the oil and gas production in this country.
Okay, but let's talk about that. You have on the other side of the coin those that want us to go strictly to an electric grid that is comprised of nothing more than solar and wind, and that's absolute idiocy. We need all types of energy. We should embrace all types of energy and put us back on the road to where we're economically viable and free from really having to depend on anybody else. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, you made an important point because even folks like John Podesta, I don't know if you remember him, but he used to be a White House advisor on energy, and he's the one that said that these activists who are saying that we can just turn off oil and gas tomorrow are completely impractical, and that's a completely impractical way of moving towards a clean energy future. And so even folks like that are saying how marginalized these groups have become when they say that we can just move renewables tomorrow completely.
You know, Katie, one thing, though, I want you to elaborate on, and don't be shy on this program, is that those groups, those loud voices of environmentalism that say, oh, we got to stop tomorrow, those are the people that get the press. Where is your voice? Where's my voice? Why won't the news media also tell the real true story on both sides? They're always giving credence to these loudmouths of the environmental movement that really don't know a damn thing.
Well, that's exactly why Energy in Depth exists. So our job is to make sure that folks have access to the facts, because there is a lot of misinformation out there, as you said, from a very loud minority of folks. And so that's why we're there. Yeah. And I would encourage people to look at our website as well. It's www.energyindepth.org.
Okay.
And it's a really good resource for anyone who wants to know what the science really says.
All right. Now, Katie, I have a caller with a question. When you hear the moo of a cow on my program, it means there's a caller. Go ahead, caller, quickly for Katie Brown.
Yes, Katie, I don't know if this is your expertise, but maybe you could enlighten us if possible. The price of a barrel of oil was $36 the other day. How is that affecting the fracking, the energy guys in America, and are they able to stay in business? And then also, this natural gas is a great renewable resource. Energy. And they seem to forget that, the environmentalists, and I'll hang up.
All right, Katie, would you respond to that, please?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because there are enormous environmental benefits to natural gas, not just the reduction of greenhouse gases, but also we've had a huge reduction in air pollution as well over the past few years because of our increased use of natural gas. So that's a really important point. The other question you asked, it certainly is not an ideal situation for individual companies, but what's happening here is there have been a lot of articles recently about how OPEC made this decision not to scale back production, but it's not going to work. Everyone is predicting that American shale production will continue to thrive even in this price environment.
Absolutely. You know, Katie, I wish you the very best. I thank you for coming on and talking about this. We have, and I think you can sum up with an answer on this, I think the United States of America is so rich with all the energy and all the energy-rich assets. All we need to do in a very conscientious and, yes, environmentally friendly manner is use them, and we do not have to depend on others across the sea that would hold us ransom. Would you agree with that?
That's a good point, because our imports of foreign oil have plummeted because of our production here in the United States, and that's been really important for our energy security here.
Katie Brown with the Energy in Depth, a research and education program. Thank you so much, and Merry, Merry Christmas to you. Have a great holiday season. Thank you. A lovely lady right there, and telling us about fracking. And we've got so much energy in this country. So much energy. And then we're going to rely on a windmill or a solar panel? Are you kidding me? That's the height and width and depth of the mentality of the Obama administration and many of the kooks, crackpots, and phonies that are with environmental groups. I have not too many good things to say about those people. I do, however, have something really good to say about our weather sponsor, and that's Scarrows Meats. They're located at 331 North Road in Jerome, and the number to call is 324-7657. Oh, my. They've got that harvest bundle of beef and pork and chicken, 32 pounds of meat for just $79 plus tax. Oh, and they guarantee everything they sell. It's delicious at Scarrows Meats. Here now is Gina with the weather.
Here's your weather forecast as we are getting ready to head on into the weekend. We are expecting some afternoon snow showers today, so just be careful if you're out there driving. High of 32, tonight low of 29. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high of 38 with an overnight low of 28. Maybe some afternoon rain showers on Saturday, high of 36 with an overnight low of 27. And partly to mostly cloudy skies for Sunday and Monday. Highs are going to be in the low 30s. Yesterday's high was 30 degrees, and the overnight low was 23. That's your weather for 7th Rain.
Oh, thank you very much, Gina. And the weather brought to you by Scarrows Meats. And they're located over at 331 North Road, Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657. Yep, they guarantee everything they sell. And it's delicious. I've got a couple of minutes now where you can call in, and if you want to talk about Christmas, if you want to talk about shopping, if you want to talk about the subject matter that we were talking about in the first hour, the onesies that are trying to cause all the trouble and disrupt our culture, our heritage, etc., we'll talk about anything you want. So give me a call real fast at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Come on, give me a call. There was a happening in Brooklyn, New York the other day. And a lot of you are going to say, you're going to have your eyebrows raised. But we'll take this call first. Good morning and Merry Christmas. You're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb, one of the things that has happened is the European media ignoring what is happening to the people of Europe. And then, for example, we already know that Sweden is the rape capital of the world, and it is just so unbelievably heinous and out of control that we can't even imagine it. And then people in Sweden are getting letters in their mail threatening them to either convert or there's going to be hell to pay, beheadings, whatever else or threats they have made. This is what's happening in Sweden and all through Europe. The Muslim population, Islam is a religion of peace. I don't know.
Whoa, wait a minute. Don't make that assumption, and don't make a blanket statement, because that's been proven not to be entirely true. And I will not give credence, or I will not give a cakewalk to anybody or any religion or any group that has wreaked havoc in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not going to buy into certain statements. This is a religion of peace, this, that, and the other. No, because I've seen too many dead bodies laying on the ground after television cameras have gone to the attack.
Well, this is the thing. The American media has to struggle to find people that are willing to stand up and say something against the tax around the world and in America. These are American Muslims who are quiet. They say nothing.
Well, they should be standing up right now. I'll just jump right in here and say it's about high time that all the Islamic folks living in this country stood up and denounced what's happening around the world and also is creeping in here in the United States. And until they do, I'm going to reserve my judgment about how peaceful they really are.
Well, this is the thing. It's just like you never know when they're going to wake up one morning and decide that have changed their mind.
Yeah. I'm not going to kowtow to anybody, Randy, and it goes back to what I said in the first hour. I'm sick and tired of us, the majority, being cowards and not speaking out. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I've got another call waiting. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. Hey, when you was talking to Rita and about the scares in California and New York, my gut feeling is telling me that this is just a trial run.
Oh, absolutely.
They're going to see which cities do what and where they do it. And unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but I think in New York is where their first deal is going to be at these schools. Because they just went on about their business, so they're going to make an example out of it.
Yeah, and they're called probes. This is the terminology that is being used for a threat that is just nothing more to see how the community is going to react, how security is going to react. They're called probe tests. And quite frankly, if I were the superintendent of the LA schools, I'm going to tell you right now, Doug, I feel so sorry for that man because he was damned if he did, which he did, and he's damned because he did. There is no easy way out of trying to figure out a solution on that problem.
Exactly. And the people that are bashing him and calling him, what they are for doing what he did, he should say, okay, I'll put the call through to you next time.
Yeah.
The blood will be on your hands.
Absolutely.
You tell me what to do.
And your point is so well taken. I've talked to many terror experts, Ryan Morrow, that was on our program this week, and then also Catherine Herridge at Fox News, the terrorist anchor. And these are called probes, and our government, as limited as they are in ability and education, it's going to take a lot of outside sources to try to help them understand that terrorism is a new field for them. The Obama administration is completely lost, completely naive, and it's about time they started relegating people that really have the knowledge to help protect us.
Exactly, and I don't think the Obama administration is that naive. I think he's just doing everything he can to allow them to have free reign to do what they want to do.
It could be very well what you said. Doug, Merry Christmas and God bless. Thank you so much.
Christmas.
Thank you. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, Zeb, I want to tell you how peaceful they are. All Muslims are not terrorists, but all the terrorists are Muslims.
Well, I'm going to stop you right there. And, I do know some of the Muslim faith, like Zuhdi Jasser, and he lives down in Arizona. He's been on all the networks and everything. He is absolutely appalled about the activities of Muslims that are creating all this problem. And I've talked to him on a personal note, and I've had him on my program. However, what you just said is really the truth. And that's why I said a minute ago, the Muslim faith and Islam in general, is going to have to prove to me that they are good citizens because they are the ones that are going to have to stop this insurrection.
Yeah, if it would come from them, it would sure help.
Absolutely. To you and your family, Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you very, very much. His point is well taken. Got to pay a bill, and then I'll take some more phone calls. 436-2244. Don't forget our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations. Man, oh man, are they busy right now. With the threat of another snowstorm coming in, you can guarantee yourself that they're changing tires. You can hear those air wrenches going right now. And they're putting on all the traction tires. They're putting on all the studded snow tires. They're putting on all the snow wheels. Oh, going to sell you some tire chains too. They've got all of it. Plus, the best in brake service, the best in front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, everything at 7 great locations. Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. The best, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Oh my. Wheels, do you have any Christmas song queued up over there? I will not leave the program without a Christmas song. We've got to keep in the Christmas spirit. Do you have anything?
I do, sir. I have Unto You This Night by Garth Brooks.
Oh, thank you. And by the way,
you're welcome.
By the way, young man, I want to tell you, you did a phenomenal job yesterday running the board for our remote. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Had a chance to visit with your wonderful grandma yesterday. And to you and yours, Merry Christmas. And to everybody out there in Radio Land, enjoy. Really reach out and enjoy the Christmas season. And we'll be back again on Monday at 8:06 right here on Zebeth Ranch. And don't forget, the way things were are the way things ought to be. God bless you. Merry Christmas, Wheels. Let's celebrate the season.